Hello, my name is Rasmus and I'm one of the founders of Bikedesk, and today I will show you how to get started with Bikedesk. First of all, you want to sign up for a free trial. Click here and then you fill out all your information. And then you click Get Started. So now we are into the system, and what you notice here is the whole system is browser-based, meaning you can actually open it on any hardware device you prefer. One of the first things we want to do is go in and set up our account in the system. Here we go to Settings down in the left corner. And in Settings, we have some default information we want to add. First of all, we want to add our company information. So we go and upload our logo, which we do here. And then we fill out all the relevant information in our address. So when we've done that, we can continue on here, and then we can add employees or workshop users to the system. I click Add User, and I can say Rasmus. I can also add an workshop guy. And then I can continue doing this, and I can also add permissions to the different roles in the store. One of the things I can also do is set up a PIN protection on my employees. I can do this here, and then I can enter a PIN. This enables the user to use a PIN code to enter the system so they don't share one user. Another thing I can do is set up notifications. We have a notification system that can tell us when inventory is low, or we have a stock transfer from another store, or there's a reply to an SMS text. I can just set up all of these now if I want to. Down below here, I can also set up if I want to use the barcode or the camera for barcode scanning on my device. This only works in tablets and phones with a camera. The next thing I want to do is go in and set up the point of sale, how I want to use it. So I go in the POS here, and then I can set up my currency, and I can set up how I want my products sorted in the POS window. I can also, if I have a return label that I print on a label printer for my products, I can set up the days, default days to return a product. Down here, I can add POS registers, and I can also here how many years before gift cards expire. And if I want to, I can set up different discount categories to track why we are giving which types of discounts. I can also set up different tabs in the point of sale window. So I can do this, and I can make one that's called most sold, and we can select by different options. I can also have one called bike parts, helmets, and I can keep on doing this if I want to. The next thing I definitely want to do is set up payment types. Payment types make sure that you track the sales and the correct payment types. So if I have, for instance, a card terminal, or I have an invoice, I could also have mobile pay, if that's an option in your country. And then I can continue adding different types of payments. So that's all we need to do here. The next thing I want to do is go to inventory. In inventory, we can set up the default VAT in our system. You can always change the VAT specifically on a product, but this will always be the default for your account. If I go below here, I can also go in and add extra fields and products. We will return to this later in the guide. But here I can, for instance, have on my bike, I want to track how many gears, the lock code, battery, and other stuff if I have that here. If you see here, we have two extra fields. We have one for products and one for customer bikes. This one here is for tracking the bikes that is added to a ticket on a customer. So you can also have how many hours an electric bike has run, or the battery state, or whatever other information you want to have on the bike. You can also here set that some of these fields are required, so a user can't add them without doing this. The next thing I want to do is go into tickets, and then I can set up how I want the ticket system to work. Some of the things we can do is set up specific fixed product lines that we want on each created ticket, that it automatically loads on the ticket. One of the things I also want to do is go into tickets and set up how to use the tickets. In here, I can set up multiple things, but some of the important things are if you have fixed product lines, we can go in and set up automatically product lines that are added to every ticket that we create. I can also go down here and set up my calendar view. If I want to do that, I can activate the calendar and then I can set in the open hours that we have, so the calendar tracks this. I can also scroll down here and I can set up different quick tabs in my ticket overview that I want to have. I could have one called, for instance, offer, and then I have a tag here called offer, and then I can track all my open offers for customers. I will set that here. Another thing I can do here is set up ticket task templates. So in the workshop, we have a lot of default tasks that we probably do all the time, and in here I can set them into the system, or so we don't need to type it in every time. For instance, here I have 3 main groups. I have front, other, and the rear of the bike, and I have some default tasks that we loaded already into the system. If I want to add more, I can go in here and then I can say template, and then I can say I want to add large bike service, and then I can actually also add product items to this if I want to. So here, and I can set up how many I want to add when I click on this task, and I can set in a custom price as well. So now I'll do this, and then I click save. So actually, when you have this overview, you can go in and set it up on all of these. For instance, if I have a tire here and I have a specific product that I need to add for this, I can do that, and then we can add it here. Another thing you also can do, you can create specific tags for the workshop tickets that you have. This makes it easy to keep it organized and see what's going on different bikes. For instance, we have something called warranty, we have an offer, we have work in progress, part order down here, and you can be creative. I know some bike shops pick up the bikes at the customer house or deliver them back, so I can track that as well here. This is also smart if you want to do some route planning, then we can have pickup and delivery service as tags, and then I can in ticket system actually make a list of all the bikes I need to pick up and open that in Google Maps. I'll return to that. After setting up the tickets, what we want to do is go to SMS and email, and in here we can activate if we want to have inbound SMS enabled. So basically makes the customers being able to reply to a text. This is smart if you have a bike in for repair and then you see that the cost becomes larger than what you expected, then you can automatically send a text to the customer saying, hey, we need to add this and that to the bike service. Are you willing to pay for that? And then the customer can reply directly into the ticket that we have opened in the system. One thing you should notice that the SMS system is not enabled before you have a paid subscription on the system. We can also set up here if we want to have both a drop-off text message, so basically an SMS that says to the customer, you handed in your bike, and now we have it in for service instead of printing them a receipt. The same when you have done the repair and you have told the system you're now done with the repair, you can have a pickup SMS that the system will automatically send to the customer. Another thing we can set up is service reminders. We can basically set up different intervals of service. It could be for standard bikes, e-bikes, shocks, gravel bikes, mountain bikes, whatever different types of service intervals you might run. And setting up a service interval here, you can see we have 6 services set up, and I can actually add more if I want to. And when I add one, I can set the reminder to follow a specific date after the purchase of the bike. I can also set different groups of service reminders, so I can have one for e-bikes, and I can actually set up the groups to follow specific product groups also. I can also edit the templates for each SMS. I can in here set up how I want the service to be. So you can see here the example text will be over here. Hey, John F. Kennedy, it's time for the service of your bike. Sincerely, your bike shop name. And as default, we set the text, you cannot reply to this text. Obviously, if you change it in the system that you want to have inbound SMS enabled, you should remove this. Down here, you can see all the custom tags that you can load in the text up here. So if I want to have a serial number added in the text, then it will load the serial number from the ticket of the bike, and then it says it in the SMS. Down here, you can see all the other SMS templates we have in the system. So whenever you create a new ticket or you create a new sales order, you can go in and edit the text that you want to send out to the customer. And again, here we have all the different tags that you just simply copy and paste into the template to change up the text that you want to send. You can also add a lot of different custom SMS templates here. So when you're in the system, you can, instead of typing it the same thing every time, you can go in and set up the specific SMS, and then it can also load the customer name or other specific information that you want to have on that. Down here, we also have the email template. So when you send out a ticket, invoice, or receipt from the POS on email, we have different templates for that here. Another thing you want to do is go in and set up how to print in your system. And I won't go into too much detail about that in this video, but if you open the print tab here, we have a small print program that you can download. And when you have downloaded this, you can actually go in and set up your default printer, so it will load the printers on your computer. So you can see here, for better print experience, you can download the print application. And when you have the print application, it automatically loads the printers that you have on your computer. So if you have a receipt printer, label printer, and all that, you simply select the receipt printer here, you select the label printer, price tag printer, return label, invoice printer, all the good stuff. One thing you should notice that some printers need some configuration to be able to look nice when you print labels. That will be a specific video about how to actually set up the printers. This also varies based on what printer you have, so we cannot per se what specific settings you have to have on your printer. Contact the support if you need help doing this. Lastly, whenever we are ready to it, we have the trial running for 13 days here in my trial, 14 days total. When I want to subscribe to the system, I can go into subscription, and then I can actually go in and select the subscription that I want to have here.